Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Keisha. On this channel, it's all about fashion, beauty, lifestyle, nursing, and anything that I choose to put out there. So as you know, I last put a video as to how to heal from being in a toxic relationship. Yes, how to heal, how to go about start the healing process of being in a toxic relationship. So listen, like I said, my videos, it's a reflection of my past experiences, and I am talking about it. I'm sharing my experience, and I'm certain that this video another woman or someone will be able to relate. Yeah, so why not grab a drink and come sit and let's talk. But this video is all about how to recognize that you are indeed in a toxic so-called relationship. I decided that I'm just gonna go through do a few videos as it relates to relationship boundaries. Like I said, it's all about lifestyle, anything as it relates to your life, my life, I can choose to put out there, and my past experiences. Okay, so grab a drink and let's talk. And oh, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that whenever I upload a video, you will be first to be notified. So when it comes to talking about relationship, a lot of people sometimes become offended and all up in their feelings about the truth when you're speaking your truth. But guess what? It's no holds bar. And I mean, we need to talk about it, and especially we as women, we tend to love very easily, very quickly, and especially if we tend to like that person. Where as a man, he looks a lot of the times about only on the outer physical appearance or attraction. So if he find you look good, he will tackle you. It's all about the shape, the looks, the beauty, put it like that, the outer. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Yes, men do think, especially the men who are more on the maturity side, mature level, they do think about, that the inequalities, let's say, because the thing about it, when the physical attractiveness fails, what happens? Most times the relationship fail. They're infatuated, let's put it like that. So guys, how are we gonna identify when we are in a toxic so-called relationship? Let's be real. Sometimes we as women, sometimes we are a bit naive. We pretend like this thing is not happening, and guess what? We sweep it under the rug. Yeah, we tend to sweep it under the rug. But here, on a serious note, how are we gonna identify when we're in a toxic relationship and not being naive to the fact that we are indeed in a toxic relationship? So guys, if this is a video that you're interested in, let's get interactive. Let me know, have you ever been in a toxic relationship, or a relationship that you think was just not healthy, was just not progressing, or even after some time being in this particular relationship, you think that it's like stagnant, nothing is happening? If you would have been in any of this type of relationship, you can feel free to share your experience in the comment section. So number one, how do you know that you're in a toxic relationship? Listen, that person is very, 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 very insecure. Very, very insecure about themselves. Why it is that they're so insecure about themselves? It could be many, many different reasons, It's like sometimes, let's say the woman can be in terms of, like, let's say her job, her personality, a lot of people gravitate towards her. And him, on the other hand, he's not so, let's say, friendly, and it's like he becomes so insecure about himself. Sometimes it can be the physical aspect of that individual. You know what I mean, the physical aspect of that individual, and they tend to be a bit more in the back, especially knowing that you are that person who can relate a lot more to people. That man, he tends to be more in the back, and he becomes a bit more insecure about the whole aspect. Okay, when you're in a toxic relationship, you find that sometimes your partner, he does not respect your boundaries. Okay, let me break that down very quickly and in a nutshell. Is like when you say no to something, they start to question, like, it's like you feel guilty, like you have to do this thing when they ask you to. And bearing in mind, it's not that you don't want to do it. I mean, sometimes I just feel like there are two answers. It's either yes or no. So sometimes, not because you're in a relationship and your partner asks you to do something, you always have to jump and get go, because at the point in time, sometimes you probably would have been preoccupied with something, and saying no to them is like if it's the world, like you have never done anything for them before, and you're just saying this no one time, they make you feel so guilty, and then now you start to question yourself, and it is not good. It is not good. So they start to make you feel that, that pressure. They make you feel pressured, like you can't say no, and it's always about them. You would have find yourself at times being less and lesser distant from your friends and family. That's one of the things that they do. They kind of train you up. It's like they always find some excuses. Like if your family call, if your friends call, I don't know, for some reason, they always find something to do at that point, or they go in a mood. That way you like rush off the phone. Even if your friends called, it's like they're jealous, put it like that. They become so jealous about your friendship. Come on, sometimes if you have a personality like me, a lot of people gravitates to you and they don't like it. It's like all of the attention should be just on them. But then why? Like, what's the point of even living knowing that you can't have a healthy relationship or communication with your friends and family? So that you have to literally think about when you're in your relationship. Are you distancing yourself from your friends and family? And that's one thing you should never do, because I always feel like even after that specific relationship may have been broken, then when you distance yourself during that time, what is gonna happen when the man gone or the woman gone? Tell me. So that's one thing you should never do. Distance yourself. So you have to recognize if they're making you distance yourself, that relationship is not worthy of being in. Don't be naive. Do not be naive. The thing about it, right? If you're in a relationship and you start to feel trapped, it's like, have you ever been in a relationship and it's like, you feel so uneasy, uncomfortable, like you can't say certain things, you can't dress a certain way. I could understand, with all due respect, you be in a relationship, you need to make sure that you dress a certain way, you carry yourself, a certain way, because, men like to feel and be respected, don't get me wrong. But then when you're in a relationship and you have to be walking like you're on eggshells, does this relationship really worth it? If you can't be your natural self around this particular individual that you think that's gonna be that life partner, put it like that. Because guess what, a lot of times when we go into relationships, right, we do not think that our relationship is gonna be ended. We always want the best, especially from the beginning. That's why you have to set this foundation, that build a strong foundation, so that at least moving forward, you know who exactly on a whole what to expect. But mind you, sometimes you're in a relationship for so long and you don't ever know that individual until sometimes situation gets out of hand, and then you now start to see the true character of that person. So be mindful of when you are in your relationship, and sometimes, like I said, you feel trapped, you feel like you're walking on eggshells, you feel so uneasy, so uncomfortable. And I'm certain sometimes we feel this way, especially when we are with our significant other. You should be happy, you should be comfortable, you should never feel uneasy at no point when being in a relationship. And once you start to feel this way, you have to start to think, is this really for me? And reassess what's really going on. If you're liking this video, guess what? Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, smash that notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, you'll be first to be notified. And again, I just want to leave this last one with you. If you have a partner and you find that they're snooping through your things, you're even though you're in a relationship, you have at some point you should still have, you are a person, so you should still have that little privacy, if you know what I mean. There are some things that just off bound when you are in a relationship, and that person should never be snooping through your things. And when this happens, that person literally have some kind of trust issues. And listen, don't let it slide. When it happens the first time, sometimes I feel like if we give that person a chance, sometimes it is a chance for disaster. I've had it done to me on previous relationships, and you give it a slide, you give it a chance, and guess what? Sometimes it just head down the road for disaster. So snooping through people's belongings, if you have to reach to that point, let it go. There's no point. You should have to be, it's like it takes so much time and effort when you have to do this thing to someone, so listen, guys, if you have been in a toxic relationship, and these few things that I would have mentioned while being in a relationship, and you didn't recognize these things until at the end of the relationship, let me know. Don't forget, you can get interactive with me in the comment section and let me know what you think, and don't forget to share your experiences. Let me know what let me know some of the deets as to how did you really cope while being in a so-called toxic relationship. We'll be talking a bit more about relationship, my past experiences, and certain things, love, trust. We're just gonna talk a little bit. We're gonna make this a little series, and so do look forward to more of these chit chat, pep talk. It's all about life experiences and all the good stuff. All right, so cheers to life, and thank you for watching my video.